And as time went by, in 2010, I was starting to come to terms with my own sexuality. Unfortunately, I knew that the school that I was in, the environment that I was in, wouldn't accept that as a possibility. There was this unwritten rule that was never, explicitly stated anywhere. You just signed on to the school with this underlying agreement in a way that you would live by the values of the school, and the school's ethos was, this didn't agree with homosexuality. So of course I couldn't come out in that capacity in an open light. So I went in to do a day of relief teaching, was meant to start the contract, I think it was the next day. And the daily organiser came down to me after my first period and said, "Oh, you've got to go up and see the vice principal because he wants to have a chat. I'm not sure what it's about." And then he sat me down, and the image is still in my mind. He turned around and said to me that he had been made aware of my choice of sexuality, and that I couldn't work at this school any longer because what sort of message would that be sending to the school community? I just remember bursting into tears and recognising, is this right? Am I actually this person? Like, I shouldn't feel this way. There was so much regret, fear, shame. There needs to be more transparency. And I think the realistic element that I still can't fathom is that some of these institutions in particular, I'm speaking from a school perspective because that's what I know most, is that these institutions are actually getting government funding. Now, the unfortunate part about that is that taxpayers don't recognise or understand what is actually happening or knowing of the truth that happens in these institutions because these stories aren't shared. They're not spoken about, they're hushed, they're pushed aside because that's not what the institution stands for.